Hiya, today we're going to be covering LOW.MS servers. Um, the idea is to take a quick look at the website, explain the different features that the company have. We're going to look at the game control panel and also the payment. We're going to put a couple of reviews together and sort of give the pros and cons of the websites in this review. So this is the homepage. As you can see, quite a neat, clean, tidy homepage. Got a couple of the top sellers on there. Obviously, Rust, Arc, some of the top server hosting games at the minute. By the looks of it, they're actually offering a discount at the minute. Home 30 will get you 30% off all game server hosting, so that's quite nice if you're looking to host in 2020. A couple of the features: SSD powered hard drives, that's essential for server hosting. Instant setup, a lot of companies do instant setup, so there's no surprise to see this. You'll get your server sent to you as soon as you paid within like 5-10 minutes. Control panel access, this is where you're going to be doing your modding, your server setups, your configs. You'll be able to access the support system from here as well. Pretty standard. Indie game focus, I mean, this just looks at a lot of the other titles, as you can see there below. DDoS protection, this is a must with game server hosting. Obviously, you don't want to be attacked. Your server can be down for a while. This is going to sort of ruin your gameplay, ruin your friends. You could lose a lot of your data if you're not careful about it as well. Um, Quite a few server locations as well, as you can see on their website. Europe, a couple of locations there, the US, and obviously Australia and Singapore. So not a huge reach, but there's enough for the sort of the main target audience that these guys are after. I believe they're a relatively new company, only a couple of years they've sort of been trading. So it's good to see though that they've got plenty of options for everybody. So let's take a closer look at the sort of games they offer. Um, I've been on with these guys a couple of times. I've rented a server with them before. They actually do quite a nice variation of games. They've got loads here, to be fair. They match up with other hosting companies like GTX and game servers. Just loads. I mean, you got medieval engineers, like they said before, indie games. They're definitely doing a lot of indie games here. So, but for this, I think I'm just going to choose to rent a Rust server. Sorry. Let's have a look here. So they take you to the main page, saying 50 slots for $10.35. Well, that's incredibly cheap, to be honest, in comparison to a lot of Rust servers you see. All the different features that we've had on here before. A couple more on the left-hand side. Full FTP access, worldwide location, stop, start, reset, 24/7 uptime, fantastic. Mod plugin installer. That's what we like to see. Try and make it as easy as possible for us. So once you're happy with that, you can sort of select your currency, decide how much you want to pay for it, etc., etc. Go on order now. We'll have a closer look once this is loaded up. So this is the payment panel, pretty straightforward. A lot of the hosts use this sort of typical style of payment. So notable things. This is sort of the information you've got here. This is telling you what you can go up to. One-click installs, ideal. That's what we like to see. Server wipes, standard with all servers, free migration. 10 memory allowance for free. All right, perfect. This is your total over here. This is what you're going to get currently. As you can see, 50 players there matches up with the 50 players here. So if I change a few things down here, obviously going to correlate in the price up here. We're set at $12.31 at the minute, so let's take a closer look at the breakdown. Usually, when you do pick the amount of players, you can see there 50 players for $12.31. If I double that, 100 players, it's only actually what $3, sorry, $3.24 more. So just shows the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes. So if you've got a huge server, 100 players, you've got a big community, then you're definitely going to save some money doing it that way. So I'm just going to do 50 for this demonstration. You can go on a CPU if you want to get dedicated threads. That's an option as well. Obviously, very pricey. I wouldn't really recommend it if you're only new or you just don't need a big server. There's not really much need for that. Normal SSD, again, you're absolutely fine. If you do want a bit of overkill, you can spend the extra money, no problem. Choose locations. Here we go. Pretty standard here, to be honest. A lot of locations you'll see across other GSP providers. This is typical. Australia, Asia, other niche locations, you usually do see additional charges that you will have to pay. It's usually because of the economic values different over there. Australia, big difference. Um, Again, shared IP, dedicated IP, it's completely up to you. If you want some more RAM, feel free, you can add that on. Again, extra. If you're adding these little features on, it can get quite pricey quite quick. So you're going to have to sort of decide what you want. If you're doing a standard server, if you're new, like I said before, just don't worry about these things. This will get you going fine. Down here, you can choose your currency. If you decide, you're in the UK, you want to change it up, make it a bit easier. It's £9.50. So again, dead cheap. Once you've chosen those, server name, server password, admin password, fill all this in, and then you just continue. Simple as that. And we'll show you the next step in stage 2. So once we get on to the second page, which is the finalization of the payment, you just want to review and check out, make sure you got everything right. Obviously, this is going over the things I talked about earlier, all the additionals, my location, pricing. Double check here before going check out. At the minute, there is a code that you can put in, home 30, as we saw on the last page. That should give me a 30% discount. Fantastic, £6.65. What a bargain. Okay, so you can see everything's applied. Then I would click checkout, which will take me to the next screen. From here, obviously you need to enter your details: first name, last name, email address. You're going to need this because this is where your account's going to come to. You'll get all your details here. Put your name, address, everything else in. That, if you need that. Where did you hear about us? Doesn't really matter. Put your passwords in. Select what you want to do: credit card, debit card. Add all these details in. Join a mailing list, completely up to you. Complete order. Once you've done that and completed the order, you'll then collect your details via the email. From there, you'll be able to access your account. You should get your password and you'll get the email account linked to it. From there, you'll be able to look at the control panel, but we'll show you next in this next step the control panel and everything that you can. So once you've actually managed to put all your details in, you'll be taken to the billing section. This is where you can sort of manage your products. You can look up other services that you may have. Got a couple of actions down here: change your password, stop, start, reset. You can upgrade if you decide you want to add more player slots, or you can even downgrade. So easy to use from this little billing center here. You can request a cancellation. Great thing about LOW.MS is actually that they give you a 5-day refund, no quibbles. They seem to be very good about that. So if you decide you're not happy with the service or you want to take your money elsewhere, come to this, request cancellation, no problem whatsoever. Down here, sort of the details about your server, when it was registered, your next payment, the cycle that you're on your payment. Come down here, you can manage it. This is where you will take the details that are emailed to you to log into your control panel. The control panel is actually where your server, you'll be adding mods, changing server names, you get your config files, etc. You'd log into the control panel from here. You've also got your configurable options. Messed that one up a little bit there, but so you've got 50 players. This is literally what I bought a minute ago, showing you in this preview. Everything that we specified earlier, there's additional information there. There's no point going over that. It's just your actual details. So if you log in now via the control panel, so once you've actually logged into the control panel, this will be the menu that you're greeted with. You've obviously got all the information up there that was provided with your server, the name that you've given it, the recon information, the connection, IP address, etc. That's your start date. If you want to stop the server or start it, click on that. If you want to restart the server, couple of important details here: your player count, the CPU, the memory currently, and the bandwidth. Obviously, the more players you have, the more strain it's going to put on the server. So you probably want to check this area as much as you can. You'll get latency and lag the more people you put on, the more strain you put on. Below is your list of options down here. This is the main control things. Configuration files, that's going to be where you put your server name, your server password, etc. A couple of other settings you can put in there. That will again depend from game to game, so there's no point me showing you that. Command line manager, again, exactly the same. in terms of game relevance. You'll need to look from game to game. It's worth looking that up. Updates that'll update the server. Mod Manager, this is probably what a lot of players will be interested in, so I'll click on that. They do one-click installs, LOW.MS, which is fantastic. I've already gone ahead and installed a few already because they take a couple of minutes. But all you got to do is click install. Obviously, if you're playing Rust, you need to do the Oxide thing. So I've installed that already. Once you've done that, it'll have a list of the plugins you can put in afterwards. Again, this will depend on the game you're playing, Ark, Minecraft, but it's the same basis. The company has set it up to make it super simple. There's no, you don't have to do any programming or anything. You just come in, install it, uninstall it, restart your server, and your mod should now be on there. If you want to return back to that main screen, game servers again on the left hand side, easy. A couple of other things, file manager for your files and saves. You've got Steam update as well. If the game does update, sometimes you'll need to update that. Web console, that sort of allows you to see what's going on with the server when players join, when they leave. A lot of other things. If you're interested in what's going on with consoles, again, you have to look that up yourself. It's not really covered in this. Couple of other things. Again, this is all Rust related, so it may differ from game to game. So sort of take this with a pinch of salt. Backups is a good thing though. If you lose your game or you restart and you forget to save your settings, whatever, there's cloud backups. These can be manual or automated. I'd always check with the server provider first. But it's an option. If you lose your data, always contact the hosting company first because they may be able to get your data back. If you have any problems with this, I would always suggest going back to the billing area, going to support, and issuing a ticket and saying, "Look, I don't know how to do this. Please, can I have some help?" And they will. They'll go into your server, into your account, and they'll sort things out for you. So don't worry if you don't understand this. This is just an overview. I will mention a couple of things. Sub users. If you've got a friend that knows how to use servers, you could create a sub user. Um, and then you could easily add them. You could add a username, a password. They can then log into your control panel and get onto your game server. You can give them certain permissions, start, stop, logins. Can they do reinstalls, Steam updates? Again, plenty to be done. So yeah, that's all there really is as an overview of control panel. Sort of just give you an idea because they don't actually show you. You've got to rent a server before you can see the back end. Um, so yeah, this is this. On the last section, I'm just going to cover a few reviews just to look at the company overall. You've seen the control panel now. We're just going to sum it up with a nice overview of how well they rated and why you should actually rent from them. So just want to look at the overview of LOW.MS. As you can see, they've got a very good profile at the minute. 154 reviews, but a lot of them are very positive. You've got a 4.8 rating at the minute, 94% excellent. I mean, that's fantastic to see. They claimed it in 2017, so they've actually been going for 3 years collecting reviews. Got a lot of positives there. Somebody had been with somebody else and swapped over. Best server provider, hands down. Well, I'd have to agree with you. They are probably one of the better ones out there, especially for the price as well. But it's encouraging to see such a lot of 5-star reviews here. Obviously, if you want to see and read a few more, I would suggest that you go on to Trustpilot and have a more in-depth review. Also, of course, check out the website that you're looking at this YouTube video on. It'll give you more information about the sort of overview and write-up that I've done about the company. But that's pretty much it for the overview of LOW.MS. Thanks for taking the time to come and listen to my review. If I've helped you out, if you'd like, subscribe and comment below. That would be fantastic. Anyway, thanks very much.